Hi, and good afternoon. I okay. Hi, good afternoon. I'm trying this avenue, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. So apparently, I was trying to conduct class, but then I can't record. So what I've opted for is try to incorporate the Zoom video into the lecture, and then hopefully it records. If it does not, I don't know. Let's just hope for the best. Okay, let me, I don't know, but I'm just trying to see if this can work, if at all it can. So, okay, so I'm just trying to check out the settings here and then I'll get started with the latest one. Okay, so good afternoon. What I'll do is I'll just start the lecture from the start because I don't know how much of it was recorded, but I want to really fast. So we're looking at types of job analysis, today's lecture. And then so the introduction, we looked at job analysis last week, and we said a job analysis is a systematic process of collecting data, determining knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics required to perform a job successfully and make judgments about the nature of a particular job. So what are these types of job analysis? So job analysis information can be obtained through a variety of methods. Okay, so data analysis information can be attend to a variety of methods. So the first one being observation. This method of analyzing jobs that is relatively simple and straightforward. It can be used independently or in conjunction with other methods, the other methods that we are actually going to look at. Then the person that is making the analysis must observe the individual or individuals that are concerned by performing the job and takes notes describing the particular work which is being conducted. The work, the responsibility, the duties that this person is engaged in, the person that is being studied. So this information includes such things as what is being done, how it is being done, how long it took, what the job environment was like, and what equipment was used. So basically, observation means studying role holders at work, noting what they do, how much time it takes. So for example, if you're trying to observe a lecture, you take note of maybe the periodic times that, or the periods that, the hourly sessions that lectures take, for example. And then also, if you're trying to observe over a period of time, over, say, assignments distribution, you try to see how much time is given to students for them to be able to work on their assignments. If you're looking at the aspects of exams or maybe midterm tests, you also look at the duration and then also how much period is taken in terms of administering the same and then the same exam or the test, or the periodic time that or that takes. If you're looking at, say, a medical doctor or a clinical officer of some kind, okay, let's say a medical doctor, you'll be able to observe, say, how much time is devoted to taking rounds in the hospital. And also, you also take note of trying to see, you try to see how much time probably a particular surgery takes. And also the time period probably the medical doctor is able to spend time with a patient in trying to establish a diagnosis. So In observation, there are two types. There's the motion study and also the time study. The motion study is the job analysis method which involves determining motions and movements necessary for performing a task or job. Then the next thing is that of designing the most efficient method for putting those motions and movements together. Job analysis method that determines the elements of job requirements to perform the job, the order in which these elements occur, and the times required to perform them effectively. Okay, so the next one is work sampling. This involves taking statistical samples of job actions throughout the workday and then drawing inferences about the requirements and demands of the job. So that's another type of job observation. So this is done through periodical, say, a full day, like you take what's this? You take specific notes concerning what this person in that job placement actually does. Then the second type of job analysis is that of interviews. The interview method requires that the person conducting the job analysis meet with and interview the job holder. So the actual person that you're trying to study, you actually make time to meet them and conduct the interview. So the aim of the interview should be to obtain the relevant facts about the job. That has to do with the job title, the organization details, the list of tasks and duties performed by the job holder, and then aspects of recruitment, training, or job evaluation purposes. And then it can also be supplemented by the questions designed to elicit from the job holders more information about the level of the responsibilities and demands made upon them by the job. So the advantages of interviewing method is that it is flexible and can provide in-depth information, and it's easy to organize and prepare. Interviews can also be time consuming, which is why in large job analysis exercise, questionnaires may be used to provide advanced information about the job. So it depends, you can use side by side, like where you try to also look at, what do you call this? You also try to use another method, another type of analysis to be able to make the other type that you're using more effective. Like for example, in this aspect where it says interviewing as a method of job analysis can be time consuming. So to make it less time consuming, the interviewer can actually provide questionnaires in advance before having to meet the particular job holder that is supposed to actually provide the information that is needed. The next the next method is that of questionnaires. So questionnaires are administered that are about the roles that are to be completed by the role holders, and then they are approved by the role holders, manager, or team leader. So meaning before this actually is administered, we find that the supervisor is consulted to make sure that they approve of the questions that have been constructed. And then questionnaires can save interviewing time by recording purely factual information and by enabling the analyst to structure questions in advance, cover areas that need to be explored in greater depth. So you find that like I explained, to say questionnaires are a bit, they provide advanced information so that there's certain information that can actually be avoided. Like, for example, basic information about maybe the job order can be avoided. Instead of asking it there and then, it can be provided for, like the personal information, the basic information about the institution and the actual job order, the one by which the analysis is being made. Okay, then next we look, sorry. Okay, so job analysis questionnaires are typically 3 or 5 pages long and contain both objective and open-ended questions. So for existing jobs, the incumbent completes the questionnaire. It has it checked by the immediate supervisor and returns it to the job analyst. So if the job being analyzed is new, the questionnaire is normally sent to the manager, who will supervise the employee in the new job. Okay, so whichever way the supervisor that is okay. So the advantage of a questionnaire is that it can provide information quickly and cheaply for a large number of jobs. And then the other aspect is that it is highly advisable to pilot test the questionnaires before launching into a full-scale study, because it's important to see if the questions that have been constructed are actually able to get the information that is being sought for. And then the accuracy of the results also depends on the willingness and ability of job holders to complete questionnaires. Okay. Then the last type of job analysis is that of having to combine all the methods. So depending on on the purpose of the job analysis that is being conducted and the targeted jobs, it may be necessary to use the combination of all the methods that we mentioned, that is the observation, interview, and the questionnaire. So not all jobs lead themselves to observation. And many public and non-profit incumbents sit behind desks, use personal computers, and talk on the telephone. An analyst can observe those behaviors but will not understand the cognitive processes that accompany them, or the requisite educational requirements and knowledge that may be specific to each position. So you find there are certain job specifications, jobs that will actually bring out, sorry, there's certain jobs that will actually enable that a person can, the observer, the person, the job analyst that is trying to conduct the observation is able to pick one or two things from just being in the same vicinity with the same person that is conducting the job. But for example, if a person has to do, maybe has to balance books and they're working from a computer, or if they have to probably do a write-up and they're obviously not spelling out what they're saying, or maybe they're trying to reply to emails, whatnot, the the job analyst will not be able to pick up all those because of the nature of the work that is being done. It's different from jobs that are able, maybe like lecturing job where a person is administering and the job analyst can tell from the job holder to say, okay, now a task has been given, the students have been given a task to perform, or maybe at this point, or what's this, the class has come to an end. But then now when somebody is working behind the computer, it's difficult for the job analyst to actually decipher what is happening. So that's the reason why this last type of job analysis method is important, because you find that the person might use an alternative method. Like for example, ask the job holder what exactly is taking place. So then that can work for the benefit of what. Okay, so I've finished with the types of job analysis. So now let me try to see if I don't know. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this class. Then let me move on to the next. Let me move on to the next topic, and then okay, probably let me pause and then come back instead of catching it together, because I might actually, I might, I might not. Okay, let me try to see.